Debonair. Okay.
Good, y'all. Shout out to Notification Gang for hitting the like button. And the video didn't even start yet. Y'all the realest ones in it. I appreciate you anyway. Please, y'all, let's have a moment of silence for Austin Metcalf, y'all. Let's have a moment of silence really quick before we get into this video. You know, this has been a very divided topic, and I remember when this first happened, right? I hinted at it at doing this video in a couple of the older videos, right around the time when this first happened. I never got around to doing it, not because I forgot, but because it's one of those videos that's an extremely, first of all, extremely touchy subject, number one. Number two, um, I thought about it from day one. I don't think that Carmelo Anthony is going to have a chance. I don't think that I don't think he's going to be able to beat these allegations. Now, will it happen? Is possibility, but I just think that it's extremely low. And so, with that being said, I was said to myself, I was like, "Yo, I don't think he's going to win anyway." Number one, number two, I just don't really care to cover it because it's an extremely crazy topic. Everybody that knows me in real life or on social media, I always say the same thing. I don't believe anyone has the right to take someone's life, but I do believe in self-defense. Whether you believe Karmelo use self-defense in this case or not, we can talk about that either later on or maybe in another video. What we're going to talk about here is how the jurors have now been selected, and he has not one black juror. I had someone send this to me, y'all, on Instagram. Shout out to y'all. Y'all are the ghosts. If you haven't already, please make sure you add me on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. All the information is in the description. All the links are in the about page. Y'all go ahead. Y'all click away. Without further ado, y'all, let's get into this video.
Carmelo Anthony murder trial. This evening, defense lawyers question some final eliminations of prospective jurors. As J.D. Miles updates us now, a judge has now made a decision for that jury pool.
The jury has been seated in the Carmelo Anthony murder trial, but not without drama. The defense objected to the prosecution using some of its strikes to eliminate 3 prospective jurors who were qualified and were black. The defense cited legal rulings and tried to overturn the strikes, but Judge John Roach overruled the objection, and a jury of 12 people and 6 alternates will start hearing evidence tomorrow after a final day of questioning today. Inside the Collin County Courthouse, the process of selecting the men and women who will fill these 12 seats in the courtroom of Judge John Roach continued behind closed doors. Carmelo Anthony appeared on a live camera feed, sitting at a table with his attorneys wearing a dark suit and tie, while his attorney, along with prosecutors, continued the work of finding a jury that would give him a fair trial. When prosecutors asked prospective jurors if media coverage of the case has led them to form opinions, several admitted that it had, with one replying, "I don't know if it's going to affect me, but I can't tell you those thoughts are not inside my head."
And that's the whole point. Or not the point, let me not say that. That's the whole part, right? When you're selecting jurors, when you're having, when we're going over these types of topics where it's gained national news. I don't know about world news. I want to say that far, that much, but it's definitely been something that's been trending and talked about since day one that it's first transpired and it's first happened. Everyone has already, mind y'all, they just, depending on when I drop this video, they just got this goddamn juror set up. They just selected them. It's been how long since this happened? You going to sit there and tell me that any post or video or Instagram lives or news articles is not going to sway the jurors one way or another? It's almost impossible. I said this during the goddamn Cassie trial. It's not like how it was back in 1930 when you can find 12 people in whatever random city or county or state that has never, first of all, never heard of the murderer, never heard of what happened or anything like that. It's not like that. Everything is all in our face at once. I said this all the time, y'all. We got the power of the goddamn world in our pockets. You can literally be everywhere at once just by sitting there and typing on Google. Put a pin in that. We'll come back to it at a later point if I remember. The reason why I wanted to talk about that mainly is because what? People, 9 times out of 10, I can almost guarantee y'all half, if not 60, 70, 80% of the jurors already have a preconceived notion of how they're going to go about the deliberation, the verdict, right? When it comes to reading the verdict, guilty or not guilty, right? They already have an idea of where they're going to go, which goes back to what this comment said here. Let me back up again. I don't know if it's going to affect me, but I can't tell you those thoughts are not inside my head. It's a fact. Shout out to whoever this lady or gentleman was that said this, because that's 100% the truth. And the other jurors is actually going to be real and tell the truth when it comes to these types of situations. A lot of them is going to lie because they're going to sit there and try to hide whatever, whatever narrative that they want to paint up or whatever narrative was painted for them. And what does that mean, ladies and gentlemen? Is Carmelo Anthony going to get a fair trial? Which goes back to what I was saying earlier. And I said this before. Well, let me just say this. This goes back to what I was saying earlier. I don't think he's going to be able to beat this case. I said this with the Rick Chow, depending on watch out this video. The Rick Chow verdict just came out. And I said this verbatim, not online, but I said this to some of my friends and to people that was tagging me in the shooting when it first happened. I said it back then. Yo, listen, I really don't care to cover this video because I don't think they're going to find Rick Chow guilty. Said this with George Zimmerman. I don't even remember, man. I was 18, 19 when that happened, 17. I said it back then. Hey, man, listen, I don't think George Zimmerman is going to be found guilty of murdering Trayvon Martin. Y'all don't understand, Black people. When are y'all going to understand that these laws are not for us? I don't understand. And if you don't believe me, listen to this part. Self-defense. We already know because we heard from Austin Metcalf's brother. We heard from multiple other witnesses say what? That Austin Metcalf approached what's his name? Carmelo Anthony. And was aggressive, shoved, and if not, and or pushed him. They said that. That's considered self-defense if you fight back. Put a pin in that. Self-defense. Rick Chow. Oh, it's self-defense, even though he shot him in the back and the young boy was running away from him. Case in point, George Zimmerman. It's self-defense, even though he was stalking an underage child, a young man, and the police on the phone was telling him, stop following him. That's not your job. Not only did he continue to follow him, he got out of the car and chased the damn boy. Self-defense, right? These laws are not meant for us. Let's keep going.
Are not inside my head. Another prospective juror who identified as an educator in Frisco ISD, where both the defendant and victim attended separate high schools, said this is close enough to home that I'm not confident that I could be completely fair. Potential jurors were also
another person that kept it real. Another person. Again, this is my second time saying this. Y'all gonna look me in my eye and tell me that Carmelo Anthony is going to have a fair trial? Them 12 people, whoever they are, already has 9 times out of 10, I can almost guarantee you, already has guilty in their head. Y'all won't listen to me.
Ask if the age of the 19-year-old defendant, who was 17 when authorities say he fatally stabbed 17-year-old Austin Metcalf at a track meet, would influence their judgment, as well as his race. One prospective juror, who prosecutors identified as African American, said he would have a hard time putting a brother in jail.
These are people that were not selected. Y'all. Ladies, fellas, These are people that were not selected and told the truth. I have a hard time putting a brother in jail. Which means what? He thinks that the man is guilty and probably will end up saying that the verdict is going to be not guilty because he doesn't want to put the brother in jail. 3 times, y'all. Y'all going to look me in my eye and tell me Karmelo Anthony is going to have a fair trial.
Anthony's attorneys plan to argue that the defendant stabbed Metcalf, who was unarmed, in self-defense after an altercation. Prospective jurors were asked if they would hold it against Anthony if he didn't testify. One prospective juror said he would, saying silence is deafening. It matters. It's difficult to ignore.
Silence is deafening. It matters. It's difficult to ignore. Do y'all know one of your rights, which honestly is probably one of the best rights? It's the right to remain silent. You don't have to take the stand if you don't want to. I don't know if he's going to take the stand. If I was him, and shout out to Hurricane Chris, if I was him, I will follow suit like Hurricane Chris did. If y'all remember Hurricane Chris, the rapper, I guess he's still rapping, but the ex-rapper, right? The A-Bay, right? Whatever. He was involved in a shooting at, if I remember correctly, at a gas station or some nonsense like that. He claimed self-defense. The lawyer, his friends, the goddamn label, the record label, was begging him, saying, do not take the stand. And what did Hurricane Chris do? He got on the stand. He said in an interview after that, he said, yo, bro, from day one, I knew I was taking that stand. I knew from day one. If I was in, God forbid, Karmelo Anthony's shoes, I would take the stand. Why? Because I don't feel, there's no one that you can tell me I can put that much confidence in to trust with my goddamn life, to trust with my goddamn freedom. No, I'm gonna take this damn stand. I'm gonna sit in this goddamn chair because I know for a fact what I did was correct or in self-defense or whatever the case may be. Listen to what these are jurors that was either not selected or going to be selected. This is how a lot of them are thinking. Shout out to them for being honest. He's wrong. Person was selected said this nonsense is wrong because the fifth. You're right as a goddamn U.S. or in America in general. You're right as a U.S. citizen. Let's keep going.
But a question from Anthony's attorney, Mike Howard, drew the ire of several prospective jurors when he asked them, how do you feel about the country's immigration policies? A number of them refused to answer, saying it was irrelevant.
Yeah,
the prosecution argued
it is irrelevant.
That the 3 black prospective jurors are educators and were dismissed for that reason because their jobs are too similar to the circumstances surrounding this crime. Opening statements are scheduled for 9 a.m., and that's when we'll get our first look at the makeup of this jury. In McKinney, J.D. Miles, CBS News, Texas.
Hey, man. This is going to be a fairly long trial, and probably a fairly long deliberation. They have like 15 or 20 witnesses, right? Because there's so many people in the stand. They have like 15, 20 different witnesses that they have to examine and cross-examine. They have the family members on both sides that they have to examine, cross-examine. The medical examiners, the doctors that was there, that examined Austin Metcalf's body. I honestly believe that we probably won't get a verdict until either the end of June, if not maybe end of July, maybe. It could happen sooner than that. I don't know, but that's just me. I think if y'all was to ask me, and y'all can clip this, if y'all was to ask me, I believe that this 12 jurors, whatever, is going to find him guilty. again, depending on when I drop this video, the Rick Chow case. I already know what y'all thinking. And I'm ahead of that curve. I'm looking at it the same goddamn way. You found Rick Chow innocent, or not guilty is the term. You found Rick Chow not guilty after chasing the boy damn near 150 something damn yards over a football field away. Shot him in the back, and he was found not guilty. This should be an open and shut case, not guilty. You would think so. But again, y'all, these laws are not meant for us. Maybe y'all think differently, man. I'll try to comment down below. Let me know what you thought about this video, man. Thanks for watching. And until next time, please, man, be safe for everyone, cuz.